Okay, the assignments, the learner analysis, design plans, and lesson plans. So let me explain the big idea of the three main assignments first, and then I'll explain the why, because the why is very important to adult learners. And after the big picture and the why, we'll dig into each assignment in another video. So the big picture, I've developed a mock organizational project involving CVS as your client. A mock organizational project involving CVS is a mouthful, so let's just call it your case study. All three of your remaining assignments will focus on this case study unless you have a real world project you want to do. The case study is based on real events collected by me and are all available in a Google Doc with several URLs. Thoughts from me on how to proceed, financial data from the companies involved, and a scenario. The learner analysis you develop from the posts in the ungraded discussion board is important because that learner analysis assignment will become part of your design plan and lesson plan assignments. You will take those learners and place them in the case study for CVS. They're fictional learners in the learning population for the design plan and lesson plan in your case study. When you read about these learners, we're going to call them professionals in Oak Street Health, or POSH, POSH. When you get to the Google Doc with the case study, that's all going to make more sense because now I'm talking about CVS and Oak Street Health, and when you read the case study, it'll all make sense. So as a reminder, the learner analysis is a document that informs you about your learning population. I provided you a preliminary example of a learner analysis as a guide. Now that you have a template for the learner analysis and a template for the design plan and a template for the lesson plan, you're now entering the time in the course where you're synthesizing elements of ADDIE phases by producing each part of the analysis, design, and development phases. We're going to use the case study to bring it all together. So why? I thought we already answered why, but why again? Deeper, 5 whys, right? As mentioned in previous weeks, ADDIE is best learned by reading, thinking, and doing. So in our instructional design world, we have to deal and become comfortable with ambiguity. Now, there's a difference, an important difference, between allowing ambiguity to exist temporarily, which is healthy, and being frozen with indecision, which is unhealthy. So earlier in the semester, I impressed upon you a growth mindset. So now is the time to renew in yourself the positive belief that writing and engaging material early is a good thing. You might as well, because forging ahead at the face of uncertainty is the job. That's what we do here. The sooner you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, the better. Anybody can download a template from the internet, and they will. But only you, a 602 student, will have taken the template, applied it to a well-developed challenge, and produced your own revisions within the template and emerged on the other side as an experienced instructional designer. Even if you only have 1 semester of experience, your experience number is no longer 0. On we go. One more why. Okay, 3 whys. In the future, if a hiring manager or a prospective client ever asks you about an experience applying ADDIE, you now have a vivid story to tell. Even though you didn't actually serve CVS, you use several real-world elements from them and considerations, which I think puts you ahead of other candidates. I know this project is going to make you better at being an instructional designer. The added bonus is that it's probably going to help you in an interview. So this is the why of being 602 and the why of being in a case study. They're pretty good items to put in your job aid, which is a hint from me. Let's talk about variations for this assignment. I know at least one student who wants to perform their learner analysis, design plan, and lesson plan for a real estate management firm. And since we spoke about it and the student has made sense of the concerns and issues on a call, I approved their project. So getting on the phone or a Zoom with me to choose a client other than CVS for your case study is required. And it would be the reason why is because it would be inhumane to let a student pick a doomed project. I mean, you might learn from that. You might learn the hard way, but that situation is too bad for everybody. And if you want to do a project on a real world topic, that means you have to tell me, we have to speak, and you have to tell me soon. So you don't have to decide by February 25th at 11:59 p.m., but you need to indicate to me or contact me via phone or email before that you're exploring it. If I don't hear from you by that time, you're in on the CVS case study. That call is for your own good. Getting a real client is a time-consuming challenge. By using a learner analysis developed from our discussion board, we skip weeks of permission getting from organizations that are outside your control. Plus, we get a fairly uniform learner analysis data. Later in your career, a learner analysis data will come from conversations you document, emails, surveys, and other disconnected elements like when a SME tells you what a learner is like. You'll have to pull those abstract descriptions and pieces of information together, but at least you'll be able to draw on the experience from 602. Here in 602, we can simplify things by working with a tiny set of relatively uniform data. You'll probably find motivating real study subjects is the real challenge. So this is a good uniform and concise way to get the research done.